Our top focus Nepal, which continues to grapple with the earthquake aftershocks. Last night, rescue operations suffered a massive setback due to sudden rains. Now, fresh tremors were reported from Kathmandu at around 11:30 p.m. and the official death toll now stands at nearly 3,200. More than 6,000 are reported injured. Now, following the aftershocks, Kathmandu's Tribhuvan airport was shut down for over 2 hours and the air traffic control personnel were evacuated to avoid any untoward incident. A 6.7 magnitude aftershock was followed by another one of 5.3. Close to 50 aftershocks have hit Nepal since Saturday's devastating 7.9 magnitude earthquake. There is still no electricity, water and telecommunication in several parts of the country, but the bigger problem is that of an epidemic. Authorities are conducting mass cremations to dispose of dead bodies. With Nepal declaring a state of emergency, India has deployed 13 military aircraft and has also sent medical teams, medicines, blankets and water in this hour of need.
देखिए, कल प्रधानमंत्री जी ने बैठक ली थी और उसमें बहुत सारे फैसले हम लोगों ने किए हैं ताकि नेपाल को अधिकतम सहायता हम लोग उपलब्ध करा सकें और यह सिलसिला प्रारंभ हो गया है। पहले दिन से ही भारत ने इसमें पहल की है और वहां पर कोऑर्डिनेशन के लिए भी टीम पहुंच चुकी है और अन्य क्या क्या सुविधाएं और भेजी जा सकती हैं, इसके संबंध में भी हम लोगों ने फैसला किया है। नेपाल हमारा पड़ोसी देश है, उसके साथ हमारे सांस्कृतिक रिश्ते भी हैं, इसलिए हम नेपाल को इस नजरिए से देखते हैं, इसलिए भरपूर अपनी तरफ से कोशिश हो रही है।
भारत में भी काफी तबाही।
हाँ, सभी मुख्यमंत्रियों से बात भी हुई है, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने भी सभी मुख्यमंत्रियों से बातचीत की है और जो भी सहायता यहाँ भी आवश्यकता है वो किया जा रहा है।
And our correspondent Amir Haq, who is in Nepal, is joining us with live updates from the Pokhara airport. Amir, first of all, take us through the present situation around you.
Well, Maha, the services haven't resumed as yet, although we just saw an aircraft preparing to leave for Kathmandu, but we hear from the airport sources that the weather is still very, very inclement and therefore it will be very difficult for them to either take these people here towards Kathmandu or towards onto other airports, as well as to send the relief material that has been gathered at the Pokhara airport over the last few days. There are some locals here that we'll speak to and try and understand if they can explain us the situation over the last 2 days. Sir.
Namaste, this is from Bahadur Thapa, Pokhara पर्यटन Parishad. And
how have things been over the last 2 days? Because I hear and see here there are a lot of foreign tourists as well as the domestic ones are stranded and they're waiting for the flights to take off.
Well, there is no sufficient flight. Still, we have a surface overland service, such a small vehicles and tourist buses are running. So whoever want to go Kathmandu or somewhere their onward destination, so we have arranged such as vehicles and they could go now. I think there is no problem at all.
But the weather department has predicted that there might be some inclement weather. There could be rains by evening or late afternoon.
Yeah, it is. The weather is not so favorable, but still we have the option that we could drive somewhere, such as like Kathmandu and Indian border, or if they wish to go to trekking somewhere, and they can drive. That's why many of the tourists, wherever they wish to go, we are ready to arrange such as their requirement vehicles. So I think it's not a problem at all.
Well, Pokhara is a tourist destination. We've seen hundreds of tourists out here stranded. Many of them wanted to reach back to their homes. How did you manage to tell them? How did you pacify them? What was the scene around just about 48 hours back?
Well, because Pokhara is a second hub city of the Nepal, and we don't have a direct flight overseas from the Pokhara, so that we somehow we have to send them Kathmandu or either cross the border. So such this way, such this garden regard. So we are arranging the vehicles as per their requirement to send to the Kathmandu either border city, and then they can go their own over destination. I think it's not a big problem for them, but whoever got a victim, injured, such a western part of hillside local people or tourists, and we are evacuating to them to bring to the Pokhara, and we have so many hospitals where they can get a treatment. And so far we have some of the injured people has been got a treatment, and they wish to go back their home, and we are arranging this kind of vehicle to bring them to their village.
There's some locals here who are also helping in arranging relief material to be sent to places which have been very badly affected. आप अभी relief material की 2 vans आपने arrange की थी, किस तरह से आप लोग भेजने की तैयारी कर रहे हैं और क्या कुछ उम्मीद लग रही है कि सही टाइम तक उन लोगों तक मदद पहुंच पाएगी?
पक्का कल सेना के हेलीकॉप्टर से 2 हेलीकॉप्टर में जुन सहयोग मटेरियल है वो तो पहुंच चुका है। एक बार जुन गोरखा लमजुंग और गोरखा है, गोरखा में जुन ये भूकंप का केंद्र बिंदु था वहाँ पर सेना का कल चला गया 2 मटेरियल, और आज भी बहुत मटेरियल जमा हुआ है सेना का हेलीकॉप्टर, और भारतीय हेलीकॉप्टर भी यहाँ आने वाला है बोल रहे हैं लोग। यहाँ के चीफ जुन CDO साहब हैं वो बोल रहे हैं शायद उस हेलीकॉप्टर से अभी वहाँ पहुँचाने की बात हो रहा है। शायद अभी तक हेलीकॉप्टर नहीं, वेदर खराब है इसीलिए यहाँ अभी तक भी प्लेन भी नहीं आ सका है काठमांडू से।
क्या क्या रिलीफ मटेरियल आपने जमा किया है लोगों तक पहुंचाने के लिए?
इसीलिए अभी वहाँ जुन आदमी लोगों को कौन चीज़ बहुत अत्यावश्यक है वो सामान चाउ है, और चिउरा चाउ और जो खाने के लिए जो ब्लैंकेट और मेटेरियल से वो जमा किया है, और वो भेजने के लिए बहुत तैयारी हो रहा है वहाँ पर।
अभी क्या बताया गया आपको कितनी देर में हेलीकॉप्टर या एयरक्राफ्ट इसके लिए तैयार हो पाएगा, क्योंकि सारा मटेरियल अभी मेरे ख्याल से एयरपोर्ट में अंदर जा चुका है?
हाँ, एयरपोर्ट तो अंदर जा चुका है। यहाँ के सब प्रतिनिधि जो अधिकारी लोग हैं वेट कर रहे हैं। वहाँ काठमांडू से हेलीकॉप्टर वहाँ से चल चुका है बोल रहे हैं, लेकिन अभी तक यहाँ हेलीकॉप्टर नहीं आ रहा है। जुन लमजुंग और गोरखा है वहाँ का एक मरस्यांगदी में एक सेंटर बना रखा है। सही, शायद कल भी भारत से जो सहयोग मिला था वहाँ हेलीकॉप्टर वहीं से सेना और नेपाली सेना और इंडियन आर्मी है वहाँ से मिलकर वहाँ सहयोग किया है। कल बोल रहे थे नेपाली सेना के लोग, और आज भी वहाँ से जो मरस्यांगदी है वहाँ से हेलीकॉप्टर आ रहा है। वो हेलीकॉप्टर में सब यहाँ से जो मटेरियल है वहाँ भेज देंगे, और वहाँ से जो घायते लोग को यहाँ पोखरा लेके पोखरा के सब हॉस्पिटल में उनको चाहिए उपचार करना है बोल रहे हैं वो लोग सब लोग।
So you see here, since Pokhara city, the town area has not been so badly affected. So the administration, the government here is using Pokhara and the Pokhara airport as a center to gather all the relief material here and to send it across to places where it is needed. But inclement weather conditions between Kathmandu and Pokhara, which is about 200 kilometers from here, are causing difficulties and making it difficult for the aircrafts and helicopters to land here and to send the relief material to places where it is required.
Amir Haq reporting there from Pokhara. This is the 3rd place Amir has reached after going to 2 of the worst affected districts before this, Gorkha and Lamjung, the epicenter. Let's move on now. The devastating earthquake in Nepal has destroyed or badly damaged many temples both in the Kathmandu Valley and elsewhere. These include one of Nepal's iconic temples, that is the Kasht Mandap temple. Now, the name has been inspired. Has inspired Kathmandu in the early 16th century, a wooden monument, an important chapter of history lost forever.
दरबार चौक और हनुमान ढोका की गलियों और रास्तों से गुजरते हुए हम उस जगह पहुंचे हैं, उस काष्ठ मंडप के अवशेष तक जिसके नाम पे इस शहर का नाम पड़ा काठमांडू। वो काष्ठ मंडप एक ही विशाल वटवृक्ष पेड़ की लकड़ी से बना हुआ ये मंडप था, जिसकी अब सिर्फ यादें रह गई हैं, यानी पूरी तरह जमींदोज हो चुका है। सिर्फ वो लखौरी ईंटें बताती हैं कि मंदिर कितना पुराना था। और अब ये कि टीला, इसी तरह पुराने ज़माने में जब भूकंप आते थे और टीले जब इमारतें ढह जाती थी तो वो टीले डीह की तरह दिखाई पड़ते थे। लेकिन यहाँ के बारे में कहते हैं कि जिस समय भूकंप आया उस समय भी यहाँ काफ़ी लोग थे और यहाँ से लगभग ये कितने शव यहाँ से निकाले जा चुके हैं?
अभी तक तो
17 बॉडी निकाले, 17 शव यहाँ से अब तक निकाले जा चुके हैं। और अभी भी आशंका है कि इस पूरे इलाके में, क्योंकि शनिवार का दिन था, छुट्टी का दिन था, लोग उस समय अपनी श्रद्धा से इन मंदिरों में आते थे। और ये वो काष्ठ मंडप पे यहाँ ब्लड डोनेशन का कार्यक्रम था, लोग यहाँ रक्तदान करने आए थे, लेकिन अपना खून बहाया लोगों ने। और अचानक भूकंप आने से, और ये पीतल का दीप है जिसमें दिए जलते रहे होंगे उस समय, और ये मंदिर का घंटा और गणपति की प्रतिमा यहाँ पर इस मलबे से निकाली गई है। आपका नाम क्या है?
संत कुमार श्रेष्ठ।
तो संत जी, यहाँ पर कितने बॉडी अभी तक निकाल चुके हैं? 31 शव निकाले जा चुके हैं उधर, लेकिन 3 आदमी जीवित निकले हैं। अभी भी राहत और बचाव का कार्य चल रहा है, और इसमें से उम्मीद है कि कुछ लोगों को और जिंदा बचाया जा सकता है। स्निफर डॉग्स की मदद ली गई है, लेकिन काठमांडू की पहचान, काठमांडू की शान, जिसके नाम से काठमांडू का नाम, जहां से शुरू हुआ काष्ठ मंडप, वो जगह, उसकी हालत अभी ऐसी दिखाई पड़ती है।
There's still a lot of uncertainty here at Kathmandu. We are at Thamel, which is a famous tourist destination where lots of foreign tourists come. But at the moment, you see, since the things are coming back to normalcy, there's a lot of uncertainty because people are stranded. And this is one, Mosul market is closed. This is one joint which is open. Apparently, it seems to be a popular joint for tourists. We have one Australian gentleman who says that. Let's hear from him. What is the kind of problems he's facing now? Andrews, what problems are you facing today? They've been aftershocks, all right, but now people are finding it difficult to go back. What is your experience?
We've been getting fairly good information along on the ground, but there's no real internet. Phone services is down too. So. International calls we've been able to make through NTC, and that's been able to give us some information, but trying to find out information as to when we can get an air flight out of here, whether the airport's running. This has been the biggest problem we've had to face.
So you're here with your family, is it?
Yeah, I have 4 children, and we're a little nervous, but the local people have been very helpful. So that's been very nice. We're actually probably more concerned about them than us at the moment because they've lost so much. So yeah, we've really.
Meanwhile, for those who survived the deadly earthquake, it's an unending nightmare. It's a heart-wrenching story now of a father who could do nothing despite hearing pleas for help from his own daughter trapped under the debris. Her screams for help stopped eventually, and the father now believes that the daughter is perhaps dead. Manogya Lohwal brings us face to face with the tragedy that is unfolding in Nepal.
कल तक आवाज आ रही थी?
हाँ, कल तक शाम तक आ रहा था, सुबह तक। अभी तो वो हो गया, और कैसे निकलेगा ये हमको मालूम नहीं। जिंदा तो नहीं होगा, मरा हुआ है तो अपना बेटा बच्चा तो चाहिए हमको।
Yes, they are still waiting, hoping against hope. These parents last heard their daughter scream from the debris and continued to hope for her life until she got quite suddenly.
हम बाहर गया था, बीवी को लेके हॉस्पिटल में, बेटा बेटी का दुकान पे छोड़ के गया, वापस आ गया तो ऐसे हो गया। अभी तक नहीं निकला, निकालने के लिए कैसे निकलेगा? सबसे नीचे, और कैसे निकालेगा उसको, कैसे पहुंचेगा मालूम ही नहीं है।
कल तक आवाज आ रही थी?
हाँ, कल तक शाम तक आ रहा था, सुबह तक। अभी तो वो हो गया, और कैसे निकलेगा ये हमको मालूम नहीं। जिंदा तो नहीं होगा, मरा हुआ है तो अपना बेटा बच्चा तो चाहिए हमको, वो कोई नहीं।
And the mother is beyond control, beyond condolences and completely shattered. These Helpless parents could do nothing despite hearing heart-wrenching shrieks of their daughter. And like them, many others are desperately looking for their children in this hour of catastrophe.
It took several years in making a home and several years in making a sweet shop. But the bitterness that has been left behind with this earthquake will remain lifelong in the family of these people. Perhaps the most difficult part for them would be seeing the dead bodies of their own children with their own eyes and carrying it on their shoulders for the last rites. With camera person Tapas Berry, this is Manogya Loiwal in Kathmandu for Headlines Today.
Now, a terrifying video that has emerged of an avalanche at the Mount Everest base camp. The video was reportedly posted by a German climber. The video starts off normally with people at the camp calm and laughing around, and the camera then shows the sprawling city of tents from where the mountaineers set off for the world's highest peak. But seconds later, there's panic as climbers realize a huge cloud of snow is cascading down on them. The panicked climbers take refuge in tents behind rocks just about anywhere. They can be heard panting heavily and even swearing. When the immediate danger appears to have passed, they head towards the kitchen tent to take shelter, only to realize the tent is no longer there. The video has been posted by 22-year-old German climber Josh Kobosch.
Get over the joke. No, wait, maybe there's coming more. Yeah.
Right. We should back into the tent.
You should get back into the tent? Tent? Should we go back into the tent? Maybe in the kitchen tent. Yeah, maybe. Right. Stay together. And we try to find the kitchen tent. Oh no, there's no kitchen tent left. No. The kitchen tent. Right, let's go. Kitchen tent is down. Hello guys, this is Arjun from Makalu ABC. We are at 19,500 feet. I'm really glad to inform all of you guys that all the climbers who were up there are back down at ABC, safe and sound. Not even one of them is hurt, no casualties. There is a little bit of damage which is done to a couple of tents up there. The route might have changed a little bit. We don't know it yet as we haven't gone up yet. But I'm really glad to announce that everybody who was up there are all safe and back down at ABC. As of now, we're going to stay put at ABC for the next couple of days, do our basic puja, and then try our way up towards the world's 5th highest mountain, Mount Makalu.
Meanwhile, helicopters have been rescuing seriously injured climbers from Mount Everest since Saturday after the earthquake-triggered avalanche ripped through tents at the base camp. Survivors on Everest describe a cloud of rock and ice that smashed into the base camp, and many climbers were still on the mountain when an aftershock triggered a new series of avalanches on Sunday. The Indian Army has taken the lead with 61 climbers evacuated till now. An Army expeditionary team was training for the climb when the avalanche hit. They've now turned into saviors. My colleague Sanket Upadhyay will now take us through how the terror unfolded on the Mount Everest.
Well, let's just show you what really actually happened. This is, of course, Mount Everest summit at 29,029 feet. That's the height that most of these mountaineers actually aim or aspire to reach. There are 4 camps in all. Camp number 4, which is closest to the peak, is at 26,300 feet. Then we come to camp number 3, which is at 23,500 feet. Camp 2 and camp 1 are a little lower. In camp 2, which stands at 21,000 feet, it was hit by the avalanche after Sunday's tremor. Now, that hit, because it hit camp 2, it hit camp 1 as well. It was hit by the avalanche after Sunday's tremor. at 19,500 feet. Now, most of the pictures that we are actually getting you on the channel, those are the pictures being posted by all those people who were at the Everest Base Camp. Now, the Everest Base Camp is somewhere below Camp 1. It is, we'll just put that up for you in just a short moment from now. The ice fall that actually came from Khumbu, this actually caused severe damage to the area. It in fact even claimed 16 lives last year. Let's in fact show you where the base camp is. That's where it is, 17,500 feet. It was worst hit in Saturday's avalanche. A lot of lives have been lost, as has been reported in the past for those people who were at Camp 1 and Camp 2. But most of the pictures that you see on the screen now, particularly the terrifying video that we are playing out right now, is actually from the base camp, where a huge cloud of snow, the avalanche, came cascading down, and how perhaps these mountaineers are braving it out at this moment over there, waiting for rescue.